Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode. Well, I think I've decided to call it Travel Talk. So we'll call it Travel Talk for now, and we'll see if we come up with another name. Maybe you can tell me what I should call it. These are just talks about, if you have a question, I can answer the question, or I can come up with stuff that I know people always asking about. So today, the big one is basic economy. I don't know if you've done a basic economy flight, but basic economy is something the airline came up with a few years ago that basically they were trying to compete or are trying to compete with the low cost carriers. So they choose a fare that matches the service level of a low cost carrier, if that makes sense. Kind of stupid because they're full service carriers. And when I fly a Delta, American, or United, which are the ones that have basic economy, and I think Air Canada and I think Lufthansa also has it. So some of the international carriers and British Airways, does British Airways have it? I have to check. But it's the lowest fare, and they basically stripped away all the perks. So you have to pay for a seat. Um, you can't assign your seat right away. Some of them you can't carry a full size carry on. You can only carry a small carry on. But they have different restrictions. But typically, oh, and you don't even get a seat till you get to the gate. Some of them do. What it does, I bought basic economy seats, but I've done it because I have status with the airline. And when you have status with the airline, the basic economy rules almost goes out the window. I say almost because they don't give you the full miles that you used to get. Some airlines don't give you any miles at all for the basic economy tickets, which is kind of a bummer. But as a frequent flyer, you still, or if you have one of those credit cards with the airline, you still get to board at a higher pass class. And boarding at a higher pass is a higher group. Like now I board, I think in group three. Um, and if I had bought a basic economy seat on American, I would be in like group 7, 8, or 9 or something ridiculous like that. And at that point, there's no place for your carry. I also have a backpack, so typically my backpack can actually fit under the seat, or it can fit in overhead in a much smaller space than a full size carry on. So that's kind of the big difference between it. Now, you kind of get away with stuff because when you get to the airport, it's all like, oh, we're going to check your bag for you to your final destination. So if you want to bring your carry on, then you get to the gate, then they'll check it for you. Some airlines like JetBlue, you have to pay for that carry on. So you don't get a chance to do it for free. But airlines like Delta, American, and United will take the carry on for free, and you don't have to pay for it. You just have to get it to the gate, and then they'll take it from you and they'll check it to your final destination. A friend of mine just made a flight, and he had a small carry on. He said he was on Air Canada, and they forced him to check the flight, to check the bag, and they lost it. And he's on a 5 day cruise. And so when you're on a cruise and the airline loses your bag, it's very difficult for them they will catch up with you at some point, but it's usually difficult because you're moving all the time. So typically you have to say, well, I'm going to be in so and so in 3 days. If you can get it to me in 3 days, this is where you need to deliver it. Another friend of mine had the same thing happen, and her bag was actually delivered to a hotel like 2 days down the road in the cruise. So it is possible. And just a little divergence here. When the airline loses your bag, they will deliver it to wherever you say it is at their expense. So they pay these contractors to pick up the bag at the airport and take it to wherever you say you need it to get delivered. So they will deliver it to you. If you want, you can always go back to the airport and get it, but that's not something you have to do. They will deliver it to you. In addition, this should actually be a different episode. So that'll be a different episode. That's all I'm going to give for this one. But so let's continue talking about basic economy. Now, the best way to do this is for me just to share my screen so you can see how basic economy works. So let me share my screen. Okay. So first, let's go to delta.com. And let's do something like we can do Houston. It's Houston Intercontinental. We're going to do, and let's go to Los Angeles, for example. We're just going to go one way because it doesn't really matter round trip or one way. And we're going to leave, let's say we're going to leave sometime in October on a Tuesday. So this will increase the chance of us actually getting a fare showing up. So it goes through, it does its searches, and Delta gives you four different categories of fares. There is the basic, which is the basic economy. There is the main cabin, and there's also comfort and comfort plus and first. Comfort plus is the extra leg room. It's equivalent to the economy plus that United has. And so you see that the fare here is $69 for basic economy. Great fare, right? Because the next fare up is $104. Same flight, same everything. So let's do this. Let's pick, this is in October. So let's pick the basic economy, right? So this is, I mean, if you bought this fare, you are saving $35, right? All right, so let's pick that fare. Now, what you have to decide is $35 a good saving for me based on what you're getting. So for $35 less, you cannot make a change. No seat assignments until after check-in. And if you're traveling with someone else, they may not be together because they're just going to give you random seats. Cancel the partial e-credit ticket minus a cancel charge. So cancel for partial. So if you cancel it, they will assign a cancel charge to it, right? Last aboard and not eligible for upgrades. No miles earned, no credit towards Sky Miles medallion status. And ineligible. Hold on one sec. Sorry, dog barking outside. And also ineligible for where are you? For Sky Mile Club access. For me, that's not worth it. The $35 difference, and I'm losing, I won't get any miles. I can't make a change if I need to. But if I do select, I can select and change my seat at any time. I can change. I can do changes allowed with no change fee. I can cancel for full credit and early access to overhead bins and eligible to purchase upgrades, plus miles and credit for Sky Miles medallion status on paid tickets. So for $35, to me, that's worth it. That may not be worth it for you. So you need to figure out, is this worth it for me? The difference is only $35. Right? Sometimes the difference is actually a lot more than that. So you need to figure out, try to make your decision based on that from time to time. So now let's take a look at American Airlines. Okay, and we're actually going to try to do, it was Houston to LA on the same day. That's the one way. And the Houston to Los Angeles. And we're going to try to use the same date, which is October 17th, I think it was. All right, so if we're going through here, let's see what it comes up with. And we should see the same type of fare levels. So see, they've got the basic economy, main cabin, business, and first. Same categories, pretty much. There's no business class, and this one is just first. Okay, and the American has in main cabin, they have like 2 rows, or sometimes, depending on the aircraft you're on, they have a few rows in the front where it gives you extra leg room. American, they had something called more room in coach for a while, and then they got rid of it. And then they realized they had to bring it back because Delta and United had Comfort Plus and Economy Plus. So American I don't even think they have a name for it. Maybe it's main cabin extra, I think is what it's called. You have the extra leg room. It doesn't show on here, but when you go to they charge you extra for it. And if you have frequent flyer status, depending on which status you have, you can actually book those seats. So here you see same early morning. Well, and let's look at it. Same early morning flight. Ooh, the early morning flight's 119 and 69. So here, the difference between these two fare here is actually, what's that, 40 bucks? Actually, it's 50 bucks is the difference between their basic economy fare and their main cabin fare. And then when you go to the next level, which is and because you're in Houston, you always have to connect to get to LA. The difference here is 54, that's $55. And what did it do? Okay, I guess it just did a refresh for some odd reason. So let's if we pick this one. So now it comes up and it's giving you all the different things, right? It's saying no change fee, right? Choose your seat at no charge. That's for the 119. Now, they put in the 119 first because that's one they want you to book. But here you can see the difference between the two of them, right? So if you think that what, $55, $50 is worth it between the two, then you can probably do that. Now, I used to actually get the basic economy, but I've realized that I don't get the points with it, and I wouldn't get on the upgrade list. But I think they've started to put me on the upgrade list now. They didn't used to do it before, but now they're back to doing it again. So if you think that the difference in the $50 difference is worth it for you, then go do the main cabin upgrade. If not, then do the basic economy. As a frequent flyer was trying to earn status and points, if I think it's a long distance, it's going to give me a lot of miles, then I'd probably go with the main cabin and not with the basic economy. This is a pretty long enough flight that would give me a lot more points, loyalty points, which is always a good thing. So now let's go look at United. We're going to do the same Houston, LA. Now United is based in Houston. And so if we go one way, Houston, we're going to go October 17th. And we're doing Los Angeles. Los Angeles, and we go economy. It'll come back and it'll include basic economy in there as well. If you can, so they have basic economy, economy plus. Economy fully refundable, economy extra leg room, and oh my goodness, in first class. This actually matches the Delta amount. But if you notice, the airlines, they all have the $69 fare, which tells me that Spirit is in the marketplace, and so is Frontier, and they're also charging $69. So that's why you're seeing these fares in here. $69 Houston to LA is actually not a bad fare. It really isn't a bad fare. They like this past 2 weeks ago, this particular fare was $453. You could go Houston, LA a few times with that. So their fare is 69. So let's choose that one. But see, the difference between their fare is $35, which is just like the Delta fare. And so they show you the difference. You get you don't get a complimentary seat or upgrade. You're not able to sit with someone you're traveling with because they randomly give you seats. You can bring a full-size carry-on board if you buy the regular fare, but you have the basic economy fare, you're not allowed to carry on. And you can't change your flight, and you can't earn the full amount of reward miles. So again, for $35, you need to decide, is this gonna be worth it for me? In my case, it wouldn't if I'm trying to earn miles or if I have a carry-on to take with me. But again, with these, you can chance it and take your carry-on to the gate. But not when you check in online, they restrict quite a bit of things. So you really have to be careful when you buy these cheaper fares. Yes, you're saving money, but it's not always you don't always it doesn't always work. So let's try Air Canada, see what they have. Canada.com. Now, I don't want to cancel the carriage, but so let's do Houston to, we can close all that. So we're going to try it one way and Houston again, and let's go to LA. This is going to be a weird one, right? Because what it's going to do is route me through Canada or something. But you know, we can adjust that. October 17th again and search. It says nope, can't do that. So let's just do Houston to Vancouver. And let's say search. And you can actually do Houston to Los Angeles. You would have to actually manually do the routings, and you'd be able to do it. Okay, so let's look and see what they have. So Houston to Vancouver is $209. They have economy, premium economy, and business class. So there isn't any basic economy here, but let's go modify. And what we're going to do, let's do Toronto to Vancouver. So if we do Toronto to Vancouver, let's see what we get. Okay, so we still don't have any basic economy, but let me pick one of these and see if it gives me, okay, here we go. So what it does, it gives you basic, standard, flex, and comfort within the economy section. So it's $161 for the basic economy fare, and it's it's $201. So the difference is $40. So for $40, you get well, neither of them give you no refund or credit, but looks like for standard you get a credit, but just no refunds. Both of them you pay a fee for seats. For checking a bag, you still pay a fee. For changes, you can do changes for a fee with standard. With basic, there is no change at all. In terms of mileage for Aeroplan, you get up to 50%, but here you get only 10% Aeroplan and no SQMs. So, and you also get mileage, more meals for beverage, but you have to pay regardless. Same day standby, you cannot do it with the basic economy fare, but you can with the standard. That's also one of the things with the basic economy fares. You can't do same day change, you can't do same day standby, and it's also because you have that fare. So if this doesn't match your travel plans, then I wouldn't get that fare. So before you go and you buy that cheap fare, always check and see what are the features of your fare, which is what they're calling it here. And make the decision based on that. Now I want to go back and do the LA to Houston to Vancouver, and then choose that economy fare and see if they actually have a basic economy fare, because they don't have basic economy in every marketplace, right? So let's see, it's $209. Let's pick that one, and they actually do, but the restrictions are quite different. It looks like when you do basic, you can't even buy food. It just doesn't make any sense, right? Same day standby, it's just not even an option. And the difference between those two fares is 36 and 9, that's $45. So check your fares. And also, some of these airlines, they want what's called EQMs and not EQMs, but you have to have a certain dollar amount in order to qualify for elite status. So if you're trying to get to a certain dollar amount, then you may need to pay the extra 40 or 35 or $50 that they're charging. Let me just stop scaring for a sec. So I hope this helps you to figure out, should I get a basic economy fare or should I get a regular fare? Again, look at the rules that the fares are, or quote unquote, the features, they're really rules that the fares have, and decide from that if this is what you want to do. Okay? Again, this is Kerwin with PassRouter.com, cruisingaltitude.com, frequent traveler 101.net .com, sorry, for Travel Talk, talking about basic economy fares. Have a good trip.